Hi guys, I wanted to conclude, I guess, the previous video I uploaded here. It was titled Emotionally Recovering from Hysterectomy. I honestly, the very next day after filming that video, I was on fire with all kinds of ideas and things I wanted to share, things I wanted to say. Um, and I prayed on what to say and how best to answer those kinds of questions if anyone does have them. Um, And I guess it's curious because God usually surprises us, right, with his answer. But the answer I got was preparing for a hysterectomy in the initial first few weeks and months of physically recuperating. You will, of course, be battling the emotional aspects of that as well. It's very solemn and very resolute and very real to think, okay, I'm 41, I had 2 children, and I guess that's it, no more kids. And it might be kind of okay. You may find yourself in your mid 30s and thinking, well, I hoped to have children. It was just kind of not happening anytime soon, but it was kind of a window I wanted to remain open. And here I am faced with really needing to have this, where there's medical necessity to have a hysterectomy. And it's very difficult to embrace that and think, am I ready to forfeit my ability to have children? It's difficult. I myself did. I do not have any children. I, to my knowledge, have never been pregnant. There's always the possibility that perhaps I did conceive and I had such an enlarged uterus and I have a bee or something on me. um, I had huge fibroids and very unusual periods and very heavy bleeding. I would have 2 periods or 2 bleedings in a 28-day phase very often. So it's very difficult to know if and when I was ovulating regularly. So certainly I was not trying to conceive, but no mind. It's still difficult to accept, like, wow, I'm never going to be a mom. I've cried my tears, and I guess that has kind of uh, settled into my mind that that's just how it's going to be. I know God has a purpose for me no matter what, and I wake up every day to serve Him and do what I can do to make the world better. Um, I don't know that motherhood was always maybe in the cards for me, so I trust in that, and I've tried to move forward. That's not to say I don't have breakdowns when I'm by myself, and I don't wish I had children in my life. It would completely change my life, right? So it's difficult because it's almost as if it's as if you're mourning, and I don't know how else to put it into words, but I'm mourning something that I never had. I'm mourning the children I never birthed. And it's a strange feeling. Um, and also, I'm sorry for my voice. I have not talked today yet. So I sound a little froggy. Sorry about that. But the advice I would give anyone moving into potentially needing a hysterectomy or recuperating from it, and you're kind of physically getting better, and you notice, like, wow, I'm having breakdowns, I'm having kind of unplanned crying sessions. I didn't see this coming. You might even experience true depression, which you will need, of course, medical assistance for that, for a diagnosis and proper treatment, because you deserve that. Of course, I'm not a medical professional, and I am in no way credentialed to give any other advice than to be kind to yourself, to give yourself the time to process all those feelings, and to don't badger yourself for crying. Don't badger yourself for feeling a certain way. It's okay to be relieved that you are no longer menstruating and experiencing those terrible symptoms. It's okay to cry because you always wanted to have a child. It's okay, and I would just tell you, own your feelings, accept them, embrace them, cry the cry, and feel all of those emotions, because I think if we stuff them down and put them away, even if we have a spouse or a friend or someone that's like, well, it's time to move on. You need to move on. That's unfair and that's bad advice. You need to process that in your own way, and that is your God given right. So, I would say too, make sure you do have a care plan in place with your doctor. My next video, I wanted to do that in this video, but it'll be a lengthy one, so I don't want to keep y'all for more than 10 minutes. So I will talk about that in my next video, just kind of um, my post-op care plan and how it failed me, essentially. So I would also advocate for yourself. That's the probably the best advice I can give you. Give yourself time, own your feelings, and advocate for yourself and for your post-op care. If you can see a pelvic floor specialist, if you are able to do that, I would highly recommend that. If you can see your gynecologist for additional follow-ups, just to make sure you're doing okay. And hormonal situations as well. You might need hormone replacement therapy and different things. One thing I wanted to mention as well, and it was kind of not discussed in detail the way I think it should have been, is that I'm 43 and my ovaries remain, but I did have my uterus and cervix removed. I found through my own research, not from a doctor, telling me that I will most likely go into menopause a bit early and also perimenopause even earlier than normal. So advocate for yourself and make sure you do put that into motion. Make sure you do have a care plan in place for yourself to be able to handle all of those changes, because I feel like you have your surgery and then your doctor says you're fine, you can resume normal activities. That's not it. That's not the end of things. There's a lot more that needs to be addressed. So thank you so much. And again, I prayed on it, and that's the answer that I was given, is to not give bad advice. Be kind to yourself, give yourself time, and make sure you do advocate for yourself again for a really good care plan to make sure all of those needs are addressed. Please let me know in the comment section down below if you do have any questions regarding hysterectomy of any sort, if you have been diagnosed with fibroids or an enlarged uterus. I had, just a quick preface there, I had a total abdominal hysterectomy with injury to my bladder. I had to be sent home with a catheter, a urinary catheter. I also developed from the surgery a VVF, which is a vesicovaginal fistula, that led me into nearly a year and 3 months of having UTIs, requiring additional surgery. So kind of an unusual experience, I know, but if you do have any questions about the risks also of total abdominal hysterectomies, please let me know in the comment section down below. I have almost 20 videos on this channel talking about that, kind of journaling it from the very beginning. I don't want this video to be too long. I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.